Tonight on the Boig D and J Rowdie Show, we go to street racing made safe. Rowdie likes breaking drivetrain parts, and my car goes on the dyno.
All right. It has been a while.
Yes.
Okay, that looks good. I was looking at the program for a minute, and it was doing something funny. But we're back to normal. It's been a while since we fired up this program.
Yeah. Last time was after Streetcar Takeover.
Right, and lots of pops.
Yeah.
Lots of pops.
Yeah,
I don't know that we covered that event, and it's the best that we could have, but I can't remember most of it now, and most of it I care to forget anyway.
Right.
So we've been busy. Before we had Street Racing Made Safe come up.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big, high expectation.
Yeah. Well, it was a big event for me, like in my responsibilities.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah. I mean, prior to that, if anybody follows the Bully page, they'd have seen that in testing to get ready for Street Racing Made Safe, I shit the diff in the Bully major. Every tooth of the pinion gear was gone.
Yeah.
So we hustled, got it together, and went to Street Racing Made Safe, which was going to be a fun event. It still was fun.
Yeah.
But we were pretty excited to be able to
way excited
to do street racing shenanigans and not have to worry about being in Flint and shot at and cops and all of that stuff.
Right.
So, but while I was there racing, you were there with Detroit Muscle doing your thing. What do you got going with that?
Yeah. Well, as we said in the last episode, I am a rep for Detroit Muscle now. And I do have a promo code now. You can go on Detroit Muscle USA, promo code HEMI. You get a free decal with your order.
So if I go onto the website
yes,
and I find some cool shit,
yeah,
when I check out, all I have to do is put in HEMI.
Yes.
And then I get a sticker.
Yes.
So, HEMI, sticker.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah. HEMI, free sticker.
Got it.
Yeah.
2 seconds, get something free.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, just to let them know that I sent you, kind of deal. But yeah, we were there for them, and my wife and Adam was there, and Sabrina's friend was there, and Adam's soon-to-be wife was there. So we kind of ran the tent as a crew, and I was intending on getting video of your runs and some other things.
Right. Well, let's just put it out there that after my first hit, nobody had anything to do but run the Detroit Muscle tent.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of happy with. I'm really happy with the car and the power. I'm very disappointed with the car because braking shit is no fun, man. No fun at all. And I mean, the axles in it are rated at 1,400 horsepower.
Right.
I never got why anybody rates their axles at horsepower, because horsepower isn't breaking the axles.
Right.
Torque is breaking the axles.
Right.
So, but that's beside the point. I realize that torque and horsepower kind of correlate in the automotive world, but son of a bitch, I'm nowhere near that.
Right.
Nowhere near that. And it just broke right at the hit, and man, it left. That was the best cars left since No Prep in Streetcar Takeover.
The fastest foot and a half I've ever seen it go.
Shit, dude. And it actually sounded pretty good when it bounced off the rev limiter too. Not that that's how fast it happened. It just broke and went to the rev limiter instantly, right at the head. And I didn't even normally when I launch the car, I don't stall it up, and then I'll just straight up go from idle to floor.
Right.
I just rolled into this, not slow but fast, because there wasn't a water box for burnouts.
Right.
There wasn't, from what we had seen on previous runs, there wasn't very good prep.
Right.
But when I got out to look underneath my car, I put my knee down and barely could stand up.
Right.
Because my pants grabbed that.
Right.
So
I didn't, of course, was running the tent and doing stuff with you, but I never saw him touch up prep all night. Did you?
Well, what I saw was like that GTR was there.
Yeah.
Now,
Thing is
rules are
fast.
rules, though. Let me just point, like, I get that when you have a big company like that come to your event, you kind of bend a little bit.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was cool about the event was that it was street racing. It was arm drop, no timing lights were on at all.
Yeah.
And basically you could do dig, 20 or 40 mile an hour roll.
Right.
So obviously you can have a water box because the roll racers would be rolling through the water.
Right.
And you didn't use the staging beams. They didn't line you up in the staging beams.
No, they just...
The guy pulled you forward just like on Street Outlaws. They pulled you forward and then dropped the arms.
Right.
Did you notice when that GTR went up, he staged?
No.
He hit the beams, and they let him stage. And then he came up on boost, and then they let the light go, and then he went. You can't tell me that there wasn't somebody in that tower that was like, hey, GTR team, here's your time.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no reason to put them in beams.
Right.
So, but anyways, a couple times after that car went down, it's like he forgot to put his AC on or something. There was water on the track. So they would hit it with the mop and then spray VHT out a little hand sprayer over where they hit it with the mop.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe just doing a dry burnout actually made my tires stick.
Right.
I don't know. But I would have liked to have at least got 60 feet out of that and had a number.
Right.
Because it didn't leave like that since the no prep.
Right. Yeah.
Which has been the issue. We can either get it down the track shitty with a crappy short time, and then we make up for it with mile an hour and everything.
Mile an hour,
or we get it to hook good, like the last run at Streetcar Takeover, and then fuck up down track.
Right.
Like, it's never been, we can't put them together. But I'll tell you, with the mile an hour that I've seen on it, and the 60-foot that I've seen out of it, if I can put them together, it's going to be one hell of a ride. It's just getting them together without breaking shit.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So did I tell you about the fucking Beamer guy? So the car's broke. I'm not in a good mood. Just period, not in a good mood.
Was that the guy you told about the helmet?
Yes.
Go and tell us.
So I'm loading the car up. Clearly not in a good mood. In such not a good mood that, okay, Jeanette is new to the car shit. She has learned that when I break something, you come over and say, hey, it's okay, and then walk away.
Right.
Like, don't hang out.
Right.
And I'm confident that she would have brought me a pop had there been pop readily available.
Right.
And then she would have walked away. So I'm sitting there. I'm trying to talk to Billy because I have an obligation to tell him how I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I call like, hey, it broke. And I'm sitting there trying to talk to him. This douche nozzle in a Beamer shows up. And he's like, hey, man, I'm just a UPS driver. You know, I showed up and I had no idea. I don't have a helmet. Can I rent your helmet? Now, number one, his exact words were, can I rent your helmet so I can see what this baby will do? And I just kind of looked at Jeanette, and Jeanette just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, I just broke my car. I'm not in the mood to handle this right now. And he sat there in his car and looked at me for like a good minute. And Jeanette was like, this isn't a good time. Then he left. But the point is, he shouldn't have said anything after I said I broke my car. He should have been like, oh, okay. And then
well,
number one, see what this baby will do? It's a fucking no-time event. You're never going to see what it can do. You want to see what it can do here? Go get on the E-Way, Beamer boy. You're like, that's what I felt like saying.
It's obviously a new move, but,
well,
you know, I understand.
I seen him run later that night, and if he went to an NHRA track that was not that event, he wouldn't even need a helmet. It was like a 325i. So I don't know my Beamers. It was a 4-door, and nothing. It wasn't an M car. I know M cars are fast. It wasn't an M car. I don't even think it was an X drive. So it wouldn't have left for shit anyway. But I don't know. So that was that event. Like, And for those of you that don't know, I just bought a brand new helmet. I've worn it. It's been on my head 3 times.
Right.
Like, I'm not. It's not cheap.
You wear it more if you quit breaking stuff.
Dude, I'm about ready to put it on and run into something. I'm beating my head against the fucking ground with the car braking. I should put the helmet on when I do that.
Oh.
So you guys ran the Detroit Muscle Tent.
Yeah.
Turnout for the event was,
Yeah, I was expecting more.
Well, I was expecting more because of videos that they shared.
Yeah.
Then again, that was down south.
Right.
You know, there's lots more of the...
and this was like their first time coming here for this deal, so...
Michigan street race scene is different than Florida street racing.
Well, it's different over there on the west side of the state than it is over here. Also.
Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like there were guys from Indiana that came up. That CTSV was from Indiana.
Yeah.
It's just southern states have more. I mean, Florida, to me, I would bet that has more of a tuner culture.
Yeah.
Number one.
Right.
Or import culture, we'll say.
Yeah.
And then most of the feedback I heard from guys here was like, oh, I want a dig race, and I want a race, you know, like.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit different. It was cool. It was kind of like, from the videos I've seen, it was going to be like Race Wars.
Right.
Like the first Race Wars, Fast and Furious Race Wars. Yeah. Not Fast and Furious 7 Race Wars, but the first one.
Right.
And I was geeked for it. They're going to have a DJ. They're going to play that crazy
techno stuff.
Yeah, where you dance with the light up, the glow in the dark shit.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. They played a lot of Fast and Furious soundtrack, though.
Yeah.
I know that because Jeanette was singing along and dancing. But, I mean, it was... So we had a decent crowd for you to get your feet wet in the
yeah. Well, I think we did well for what
position.
Was there.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I noticed it came in spurts.
Yeah. At one point there was like 30 people.
Yeah.
It felt like. It was probably more like 20, but,
well,
you know.
That Marauder, that what the hell? Mercury Marauder car club showed up.
Yeah.
So maybe you got a bunch of guys just showed up, like we're walking and then they see, you know, who knows. But,
yeah. That's how that goes.
I can see a definite opportunity, though, with female leggings. Because some of them girls that were walking around there, I know there's somebody's daughter. But them shorts. And I mean, it got cold, dude.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, you know, at 11 o'clock at night, it was like...
We made a lot on...
55?
We made a lot on hoodies and long sleeves.
Right, yeah, just to, like... Them bitches needed pants. Huh. Like, they needed pants. Just saying. But, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could tell when the sun went down...
Yeah.
People went for the hoodies and the long sleeve.
Yeah, that was a for sure thing.
So I just seen a lot more of those, like, come through the stands or go up by the starting line when I was up there.
Yeah.
So
I have to say, I think we did well for the size of the crowd, and it was a good experience to get us ready for Woodward next month.
Yeah, what should the listeners expect to see from you? Not you when I say you and Detroit Muscle, obviously not what you can expect to see from Detroit Muscle. Like don't get like I'm sure there might be stuff in the works that you can't share or something. But as far as you being a rep for them, what's going on?
I'm going to be at Hemi Insanity as a vendor for the racetrack day on Thursday, and we're going to be at the lot on Friday and Saturday as a vendor as well. So we're expecting to be fairly busy.
Yeah, on Saturday because I hear down in Pontiac at the Loop there, those are our people.
Yeah,
not just necessarily when I say our people, not Hemi people.
Yeah,
I mean there will be mostly Hemi people there.
Yeah,
but in that section, but that's where
those are my people.
That's where the cool shit happens because I sit in Royal Oak, where I see a lot of different cars.
Yeah,
but I don't see anything cool. So I'll be at the Loop this year. regardless.
Things get a little more exciting down in Pontiac, we'll say.
Yeah. Well, most of those guys can afford to pay any ticket that they want, as far as our crowd of Hemi people are concerned.
Yeah. Some of those guys make us look homeless.
Some of them do. Most of them. That's like kind of what's a little bit like hard for me to deal with. The bully shitting out rear end parts left and right.
Oh yeah.
The best fix is like, well, an $8,000 Dana 60, because I'm not putting a 9-inch in it. If I'm gonna spend the money, I'm just gonna put a Dana 60 in it. Number one, because it's Mopar.
Right.
And if I break a Dana 60, the world will know it, because that shit don't break.
No.
I mean, like, period. Like,
isn't the ring gear on those 9 3/4?
I am not 100% sure. I think that they're fairly big.
Yeah.
It's a big, and it's freaking heavy, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, a 9-inch. When you break a 9-inch, you go to the Dana 60. When you break a Dana 60, I don't know what you do.
Military axles.
Probably. And see, that's another thing. Like, I broke an axle after the diff shit, and it wasn't really even the diff. It was just a pinion gear, the Richmond gear.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the axles that go in it are the exact same fucking axles.
Yeah.
So, and most people are like, well, you need to swap out your diff. You need to that. I'm like, I don't have the money.
Right.
I know I need to, but let's talk cost effective and what Justin can afford.
Yeah.
So, granted, I break axle after axle, and it adds up. Yeah. I mean, there'll be a point where I'll just stop and be like,
right.
We need to.
Well, we want to see the car make a full pass.
I don't care if I got to pull a shit ton of power out of it down low, and then just pour it back in way up top, so I don't break parts.
Right.
It hasn't gone any quicker. It hasn't gone substantially quicker than it did before.
Right.
It's mile an hour way more.
Oh yeah.
And that's all from the 60-foot. I mean, I was asking John, like, why didn't I break shit at Streetcar Takeover? And I go to this fucking thing and I break.
Well,
it was like, well, you didn't hook. Yeah. And, at Street Racing Made Safe, I ran at 15 pounds. And it hooked.
Yeah.
At that event, we dropped it down to what, 12?
Yeah.
And it hooked okay.
Right.
Not like that.
No.
So, Mid-Michigan, I think, dude, I want to race, not Mid-Michigan, I want to race 131 again. Like, I want to go back to that track. I don't care if it's a bracket race event or not. I want to go back.
Really, really nice facility.
Yeah. I mean, the facility itself makes Milan look like Lapeer. If you were to put them next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Milan is a very nice facility, but this is like, I mean, John Force used to go there. There used to be an NHRA stop.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we covered that. Your car had a bunch of work done to it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much we shared or how much you're willing to share about what's done.
Well, I kind of have an obligation to share.
Okay.
Actually. So we're just going to throw it right out there. You might have seen on the Facebook page that our good friend Adam started the project on my car because I've been working a extreme amount of overtime this spring and summer.
Extreme is an understatement.
Yeah. So the best time effective thing for me to do was to give him some overtime.
Right.
And let him do the job for me. Because, let's be honest, I was going to need you guys' help for the valve train work anyways. So, dropped my car off at his place, and he's doing has done a cam swap from Go for Broke, like, from Billy, and Thytech heads, Thytech ported intake manifold, and it's got a 90mm throttle body on it with some long tubes and a underdrive pulley. So it's a full bolt-on heads cam and intake car. No,
you can't really go much further with it.
No, I mean, it's as far as I can go on the stock bottom end without booster nitrous.
Right, and then you can't go any further on the stock transmission.
Right. Yeah,
So,
pushing the limit of the stock trans and creeping up on the limit of the rear end.
So when you sat down to think about this whole thing,
yeah,
when we obviously heard the go for broke cam, which let's back up. I don't know if everybody knows Billy. He did the motor build in my car.
Yep.
Which is, knock on wood, the only thing that hasn't broke yet.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only thing, and in fact,
I think that's what's doing the braking.
Yeah, that is what is the only thing Billy is guilty of is making way too much power.
Right.
And I don't think I could really be mad at him for that.
No.
So I think it's actually his motor is going to surprise a lot of people once it actually works, because there's a lot of people that say that it won't do what it's supposed to do. But so Billy is like, dude will just sit down and read shit and talk to people about. I mean, when you talk to the guy, he talks in measurements of like 10,000ths.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I can fathom that shit.
Right.
You know, he's very technical and very analytical on a lot of stuff.
Right.
So he put together this custom grind cam that, as far as I know, there isn't anything like it.
No.
That's available. Like, okay, a lot of stuff for our cars is not. You can get like the Comp 274 or whatever that's mass produced, but most of the other cams are from little, relatively speaking, little shops like Inertia and Southern Hot Rod did mine, and so I don't think there's one out spec-wise and timing event-wise that's comparable. And I really think what he did was he got talking to that dude at Crower that spec'd my cam.
Yeah.
And they just got talking in their fancy lingo.
Right.
And the guy was like, hey, and they come up with this together, which is a NA cam for, a stock motor. So there's no valve reliefs. It's basically the closest you're going to get to everything without changing your pistons out or anything.
I guess I only know it as the GFB1 Go for Broke.
Yeah. So
one cam. I don't know if he has a name for it yet, or if there is one, or
knowing him, it's probably just the GFB1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he. I've been trying to get a sticker. Now, those of you that know me know not a lot of stickers go on the car.
No.
Like, at all. But I've been so happy with what he did motor-wise, and even taking the time to help me through some of the issues that I had that were not related to him.
Yeah.
Basically, all his obligation was to build that motor and help me put it in.
Right.
And then, I had all those issues after I got it home with vacuum leaks and all this, and he was more than helpful with that.
Right.
I'm like, we need to put like a Go for Broke sticker on there somewhere, or something. And he's just, I think he finds more of the enjoyment in not really getting his name out there huge, but doing like working in the garage, building the shop. Instead of designing a logo, he would rather be checking valve spring pressure or,
Yeah. I get that from my dealings with him.
Yeah. So it's probably just a generic name. Now mine is actually, and this is really cool, it's my name. Yeah. So you have to have my name and you have to have my grind number and call and ask for it.
Oh.
So that's kind of cool.
I've only heard of that one other time.
So, really?
Yeah. There's a guy at work that has a 383 LT1 base 383.
Okay.
That his camshaft has his name on it too. But.
Yep. I think it's like listed under like a Go for Broke, Justin McMahon, and you have to have the, which is kind of cool. And I'm kind of in the dark still about it because I learned a lot about cams in this dealing, and I'll tell you what, lift and duration are like a quarter of the equation of power making. Like the timing events, which is the important shit, is way more important, and that I can't even get. So,
yeah, he's So he designed my cam,
So you went with him.
I was sold on it by the video of the one other car in the country
Yep.
that has it. And here's a juicy little tidbit. This other car is a 6.1 with this cam with, and I'm going to leave the company name out, but it's got another company's heads, another company's intake,